Hi, and welcome to a special edition of 60 Seconds of Tableau. We're going to look at how you can use the dynamic filtering we learnt in episode 4, but apply it to just individual cells or columns. And this is where we left off. So we start by removing measure names from columns. Now we're going to create a calculated field for our conditional coloring. I've named it color, and the formula is 0. Make another calculated field that will be home to our figures. I've named it figure, and again the formula is 0. Make a third and final calculated field that I like to name size Gantt, and the formula this time is 1. We're going to need this later. Now our table had 3 measure values before, so we're going to need the same 3 columns again. So drag color into the columns bar, then drag figures after it. Do this 3 times to get 6 columns in total. It should go color, figure, color, figure, color, figure. Now to make these 6 columns into 3, we right click on all of the figures fields and make them a dual axis. Now once we've completed this, you'll end up with 3 columns with figures at the top and color at the bottom for each. Now let's get rid of our marks from before. We're going to need a blank slate to work with. And we're going to start by putting our figures into the figures marks as I'm doing now. So click on the first figure, grab your first figure field and drop it on to the label, and then make sure you change the type to text. So 2017 onto the label, change that to text, and repeat that for the third column as well. Now I only want to conditionally format the third column. So if I click on color number 3, grab my alarm field that we had at the beginning and drop it onto the color box. I then change the type of the field for that color into a Gantt bar, and then drag my size Gantt onto the size, and then edit the axis range from 0 to 1. Now because we made it a 1, every single column, every single field will be a 1, and you can see that the column is now filled with conditional coloring. Now the other columns we want to be blank for the color, so we're going to make them Gantt bars just as we did with color number 3. But this time we're going to leave their mark box blank, and then we're going to color them white so that they're hidden. There we go. Now, the table is finished, but there's clearly some cosmetic updates that we're going to need to do. Now, I personally like to make any of the figures that have not met the alarm, I like to make them white. There we go. So the background there is now white, and you can see any of the marks that beat the alarm are highlighted. Now, I'm going to change the first header of the column to 2016, population 2016, change the mark types to none, and I'm going to want to repeat that for the other 2 columns. And then at the bottom, I'm also going to want to delete the title from this axis and get rid of the tick marks there. Now you can see that first column looks great. Repeat for your other 2 columns, and then try this for yourself. Now, there wasn't quite 60 seconds of Tableau, but that was a neat trick on how to conditional format. Thanks for watching.